Hello and welcome to Newsfeed, your daily dose of what people are talking about online, from news stories to what's trending. Let's begin with Tesla. The world's biggest electric vehicle maker is preparing to cause a landslide in the automotive sector. The company has slashed the prices of its cars across the world, and that's made some buyers unhappy. They feel shortchanged. The new prices mean that they won't be able to sell their vehicles for nearly as much as they bought them for. At one Tesla dealership in China, customers protested, demanding their cash back from the EV giant. But there's more bad news for Tesla coming out of China. Output has struggled in recent months due to COVID-19 lockdowns. And with higher interest rates, Tesla didn't meet its sales expectations for 2022. Here's Wilson's take.
People who bought a new Tesla for Christmas are calling Elon Musk a Scrooge. But people who hold Tesla stock are jumping for joy. That's after the company drastically slashed prices on its electric vehicles. Model 3 prices are down from $63,000 to $54,000. And the high-end Model Y that usually sells for $70,000 is now $57,000. Buyers can also benefit from new tax credits offered by the U.S. government to spur the adoption of electric vehicles. Europe has similar tax rules, and buyers are expected to reap the benefits there as well, along with significant decreases in prices. Analysts are forecasting a boom in Tesla sales, which should help rescue the stock price of the company. But it looks like this might be just the beginning of a long price war in the EV market. General Motors and Ford are set to give Tesla a run for its money in the coming years as they start producing more and more electric vehicles. And their aim is to make them much more affordable. Musk's name is likely to continue to be in the news regarding Tesla. He's being sued in California over a 2018 tweet that sent the share price tumbling. Oh, and speaking of GM and Ford, can you even name the CEOs of those companies? In the long run, their not being flashy or famous might be the greatest advantage Tesla's competitors have.
Meanwhile, it's not exactly smooth sailing at another Elon Musk-owned business, Twitter. Well, the billionaire is certainly in his finding out phase after he messed up Twitter's ads business. The company now offers to match dollar for dollar to advertisers who spend up to $250,000. Sounds like a buy one, get one free kind of deal. And this isn't the first try to woo advertisers. The platform did a similar campaign back in December, but for up to $500,000. 90% of Twitter's income comes from advertising, and since the start of Musk's reign, brands have been leaving the site in droves, for good reason too. When the paid blue checkmark service was first launched, many imposters troll stocks. Remember the insulin is now free tweet? Well, half of Twitter's top advertisers ditched the platform around that time. The money is running dry, and Musk is trying to prevent Twitter from going down the pan. So much for that $44 billion investment, huh? The OG in the content streaming space, YouTube, is set to up its game. According to a report in the Wall Street Journal, it's in talks with major media firms to stream TV shows, movies, and entire channels. Yep, definitely a game changer, as it would go head-to-head with the likes of Netflix, Disney Plus, and all. It could be up and running by the end of the year as an ad-supported service. That's where it becomes lucrative. YouTube could take a 45% cut from ad revenue, pretty much the way it currently operates. An expanded service will mean more bucks. Advertising on YouTube brought in $7.1 billion in the third quarter of last year, but it was the lowest since parent company Alphabet started reporting its financials 3 years ago. YouTube is currently the market leader in the online video space, and the new service will see it compete with Roku, Fox's Tubi, and Paramount's Pluto TV. Referred to as free ad-supported streaming television, or FAST, it will allow users to flip through channels that would normally only be available on a paid cable service. In the US, there are currently 20 such services, and the market is growing. S&P Global expects revenues to shoot from $4 billion this year to $9 billion by 2026. Following the release of his controversial memoir, Spare, Prince Harry could be excused for basking in a substantial amount of glory. It flew up off the shelves and even made the Guinness Book of Records as the fastest-selling nonfiction book of all time. Overtaking Barack Obama's A Promised Land, Spare shifted 1.43 million copies on its first day on sale in the UK, US, and Canada. And that was despite it being sold in Spain 5 days earlier by accident. But while the public clearly wanted to devour all the dirt he dished on the royal family, it did nothing for his own popularity. According to a UK YouGov poll, it has done quite the opposite. Just look at these charts. Asked what was Harry's main motivation for writing Spare, 1 in 4 Brits said it was to make money. Less than half thought it was to tell his side of the story, and nearly 1 in 10 said it was to publicly condemn the royal family. And if we go back several years, we can see that Harry was cruising on 80% in the popularity stakes, the yellow line, and around 15% had a negative opinion of the prince, the red line. But look at what happens from 2020. The chart goes berserk, and now around 2/3 more Brits have negative vibes towards him. Harry's book took one almighty swing at the royal family as an institution. His father, brother, and Camilla took a hell of a beating. So let's see how the British public rates them now. Princess Anne tops the bill, but the Prince of Wales isn't far behind. His wife Catherine is also looking popular. Looking down the list, even Camilla, the Queen Consort, comes above both Harry and Meghan. Prince Andrew is the least liked for obvious reasons. But wait, not with the grave vote. Remarkably, those over 65 rate Harry and Meghan more negatively than Prince Andrew. And that's despite him paying out a woman who accused him of sexual assault and his friendship with the late sex pest Jeffrey Epstein. Harry's book may have brought in the bucks, but in Britain, at least his popularity is in tatters. All right, on to what's trending. How are you feeling this Monday? It's the third Monday in January, and it's supposed to conjure up feelings of sadness.
When life gets you down, that's when sadness takes over. This is sadness. With a caring touch and a kind heart, sadness leaps into action to let you... I said sadness leaps into action. Sadness? Oh, sadness.
Blue Monday, the most depressing day of the year, was conceived by Dr. Cliff Arnell, a Cardiff University professor. He based his research on debt, divorce applications, weather reports, and failed New Year's resolutions. It was originally designed for a travel firm to sell more winter vacays, but now it's been dismissed as a myth. Mental health advocates have long berated the Blue Monday notion, saying that depression is more than a one-day occurrence.
Little Blue Monday tip for you. If anybody tries to sell you any wellness products today, based on the idea that it's apparently Blue Monday, the most depressing day of the year, don't buy it. Blue Monday is not based on any good science. It was developed by a psychologist who was working with a holiday company as a marketing tool to get people to buy holidays. Don't buy into that. Everybody who knows anything about mental health and depression knows that depression doesn't care what date is on your calendar, and it doesn't come and go in one day. So rebel against the powers that be that are trying to sell you stuff and go make today a brilliant Monday.
And if you're feeling Blue Monday, well, the Hollywood award season is in full swing, so that may lift your spirits. All the usual glitz and glamour is here. It's 2023, and that means there are no more socially distanced award shows, mass or Zoom acceptance speeches.
Happy to be here tonight supporting the critics' right to choose.
It was a starry night at the Critics' Choice Awards, although Sunday's event was missing a few key nominees after last week's Golden Globes turned out to be a little bit of a COVID-19 super spreader event. Jamie Lee Curtis, Colin Farrell, Brendan Gleeson, and Michelle Pfeiffer all had to sit out the Critics' Choice Awards after testing positive after the Globes. Everything, Everywhere, All at Once continued its successful award season run by being, well, everything and everywhere. It was nominated for 14 awards and took home 5 gongs, including Best Picture, as well as Directing, Screenplay, Editing, and Best Supporting Actor for Ke Huy Quan.
I'm not your husband. I'm another version of him from another universe. I'm here because we need your help.
Very busy today. No time to help you.
It's been a comeback 30 years in the making for Ke, who stars alongside Michelle Yeoh in the wild sci-fi interdimensional adventure. Ke propelled to fame in the 80s, starring in The Goonies and Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom. But he eventually stopped acting as there weren't many roles for Asian actors back then. He kept working in the film industry as an assistant director and fight scene choreographer, that is, until the success of the movie Crazy Rich Asians inspired him to return to acting.
Well, thank you. Okay, I'm gonna try real hard to not cry tonight. My comeback story could have been very, very different had it not been for the critics and the journalists. I was bracing for a very different reaction, but because of your generosity, I was welcomed back with so much positivity. You've not only helped audiences find our little movie, but you've also helped audiences to remember who I am.
And another Hollywood comeback years in the making, Brendan Fraser. He picked up the Best Actor prize for film festival favorite The Whale, where he plays a reclusive, obese teacher.
If you, like a guy like Charlie, who I played in this movie, in any way struggle with obesity, or you just feel like you're in a dark sea, I want you to know that if you too can have the strength to just get to your feet and go to the light, good things will happen. Thank you.
Other big winners at the Critics' Choice Awards in the TV category: Abbott Elementary won for Best Comedy, Better Call Saul Best Drama, and The Dropout was named Best Limited Series. While Cate Blanchett won Best Actress for the film Tar, Angela Bassett got the Best Supporting Actress prize for her role in Black Panther: Wakanda Forever, and Glass Onion: A Knives Out Mystery got props for Best Acting Ensemble and Best Comedy. All right, you've seen the critics' picks for this awards season, but what films do people want to see rocking the red carpet? Here are some of TikTok's picks for the most notable contenders for this season.
Here are some movies you definitely have to watch. Starting with the most obvious, a movie you probably should have watched already, and if you haven't, you probably should, regardless of award season. But yeah, it'll probably get nominated at minimum in like 6 categories, probably more. It'll be everywhere, all at once. And deservedly so. Yes, we're living in a world where it's very, very possible Top Gun: Maverick gets a Best Picture nomination, and it's not impossible, and if anything, a little probable, Tom Cruise gets nominated for Best Actor. Elvis has apparently not left the building because there's been like this big Elvis resurgence. And not just for Austin Butler to be nominated for Best Actor, but for the movie to be nominated for Best Picture. It's a Steven Spielberg movie, and it's pretty good, so it'll probably get nominated a lot. This will also receive a ton of attention. And it's easy to watch since it's been added to HBO. Cate Blanchett is like the most obvious nomination this year, but Tar itself will likely receive a few other nominations beyond that one, including Best Picture. The wide release isn't until January, but once it's out, it is very much worth watching, and it'll likely see a ton of nominations. Best Animated Feature, in my opinion, is between 2 movies and 2 movies only: Del Toro's Pinocchio and Marcel the Shell with Shoes On. Turning Red might be a contender, but I don't think so. I really think it's between these 2 movies only.
Well, I've got some movies to catch up on. And that's our show. Find us on YouTube and do subscribe to our channel. See you same time tomorrow.